Hello, everyone. Welcome to not only my channel, Sonja Unapologetic. My name is Sonja, but I have a special guest with me, Nicole Black with Global Sisters Connection. I hope I'm saying that right. Global Sisters,
Mhm.
Sisters
Connection.
Connection.
Yes, correct.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, before we even go any further, on my channel we talk about mental wellness and living a free life from a Black woman's perspective. And now I'm in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and Nicole Black is in Nigeria right now. So I've been in Playa del Carmen for, I think, 6 weeks now. And when I initially flew from Dallas to here, Nicole Black came with me, just to kind of see me off and see where I'd be living. So I really appreciate that support. But Nicole, go ahead and tell them about where you're at right now in Nigeria, and how you're enjoying it and all that good stuff.
Currently I'm in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, River State. I was originally landed in Lagos, stayed there for a couple days, and I'll be going back to Lagos, but that is where I am in Nigeria.
That is awesome. So on this today, what we were just wanting to do is just talk about experiences living abroad. Specifically, us being two Black American women, our experiences living abroad here. So we had some questions. So y'all see me, looking at my questions here. Kind of will be interviewing each other. So at this point, it's streaming live on my YouTube channel, Sonja Unapologetic, and it's also streaming live on Global Sisters Connection as well. So we've talked about, well, let's see, before we get further, let me stop again. Subscribe to
Mhm.
the channels, you guys. If y'all are liking this content,
That's
if you
right.
guys are loving the shared experiences with Black, American, women, and not just Black American women, some of our, Caribbean, sisters, our, sisters, from the UK, wherever, just, living outside of the country that they were born in. If you want to see more of that content, subscribe to our channels, like this video, and just engage with the comments and everything. But I see here that we're going to talk about there being so many Black American, I'm going to say specifically women,
Mhm.
who are leaving, the U.S. and um, why was this a choice for me? Okay, so me being in Playa del Carmen, Mexico right now, the reason why specifically this area was a choice for me, it was because of the sisterhood and because of the support that I have here. So for me, I don't take it lightly. Leaving where you were born, leaving where you spent all of your life. I don't take it lightly, like it's just, super simple, thing to do. I mean, it can be a super simple thing to do, but I understand that, it's something that can be a little nerve wracking for some. And for me, I needed somewhere that was an easy first transition. I needed to be able to, have somewhere to where it'd be easy for me to get there, easy for me to get back to the US if I needed to get back, to the US. But also I needed that support. I'm here in a country, I'm learning Spanish, but I don't know a lot of Spanish yet. So I needed to be somewhere that it was, easy, an easy transition, and that had a lot of support. And I have so much support here. There's so many sisters here. um,
Mhm.
One of the ladies that I know here, she had to go back to her home state in the U.S. to take care of some business, and so
Okay.
she made sure she left her apartment key, here in Mexico. She left it with me just in case, anyone need anything. Just in case I need to, let anyone in for any, maintenance things or whatever. We're just really here to support each other. So, yeah, seeing the
Yeah, I
comments.
think Mexico is a good choice. I think Mexico was really a good choice. Um, like as you said, I did visit you down there.
Mhm,
It's close to the States. They are very welcoming.
mhm,
Um, it seems to be a good place for Black women to go. There's a lot of history in Mexico.
mhm,
And if you're looking to do things like work on your mental health, your physical health,
mhm,
with the great weather and natural food options that are there, Mexico is definitely a good choice. I would agree. And just to clarify, I do not live in Nigeria. I'm visiting. I don't live here.
mhm,
Um, but Nigeria is a beautiful country. There's a lot of ties here for a lot of Black Americans, a lot of diasporas, period, to be honest with you. So, I came to visit. This is my second trip here to visit. Um, I looked into, like, I bought land here, as far as an investment situation, and met some good people, some nice, some not so nice good people. But that's just about traveling. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of connect with people that you can connect with, and those you're not going to vibe with everyone. You know, me having my channel listed as Global Sisters Connection, that's the purpose of you connecting with other Black women as you travel abroad. um, and as I stated in the beginning of my channel, like, you're not all Black women getting along. That's that's kind of far fetched. That's not really like realistic.
mhm,
But to make those connections, you will find some women that you can get along with, you vibe with, that are in your tribe, and you kind of connect, and you can build a friendship off of that. And sometimes when you meet people in person, it's not the perception that you had before you met them or was connecting with them on YouTube. Um, so you understand that, like, and for me, that's part of the reason why I would suggest, which is what I was able to do. Like, you always want to make sure that you have a plan B, like prepare to stay at a hotel. I'm not really big on staying with people when I travel. I try to make sure that I do stay at a hotel.
mhm,
um, I think the other time I've ever stayed locally with someone was when I traveled to Cuba, and it was an Airbnb and they were hosting. So I was aware of them, connected with them. But I would definitely consider staying at, a hotel in most cases when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling just single as a Black woman, or just Black women with a few friends, other
mhm,
few friends. I would definitely stay at a hotel. It's a
mhm.
much better option.
Yeah. Here in I've developed a connection with so many Black women all over the
Hmm.
country of Mexico. I'm wanting to go and visit Mexico City sometime soon, and I know a lady there. Um, and so, yeah, there are a lot of times there. We have such a network here in Mexico with the sisters, to where, yeah, a lot of times you will have someone who would offer you, that you can stay at their place. And yeah, that ends up being a good option here. Like, a lot of times here in Mexico, you'll find an apartment and then you may not like the apartment, and then in between, to where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to move into another apartment next week. That in
Hmm.
between time, there's a lot of sisters who will say, you can stay in my second bedroom until your new apartment is available. Here in Mexico, there's a lot of apartments to where there'd be a lot of 3-bedroom apartments or 2-bedroom apartments. You know, easily you'll find some apartment complexes to where every last unit is a 3-bedroom apartment. And so,
Okay.
that being said, a lot of sisters will sublease, rent out one of the bedrooms or whatever. Or if someone's coming to town and they're kind of in that transition stage, a sister would maybe offer for someone to stay in her other bedroom. So I've saw that a
Mhm.
lot, and I very much so appreciate that option. We also want to talk about the pros and cons. And I guess I'll start out with some of the pros and cons here in Mexico.
Okay.
Some of the pros and cons, or let's see. Okay, I guess let me talk about pros. Let me start with pros. The pros would be just coming from the U.S. And just being in Playa del Carmen, being near the beach, um,
Mhm.
feeling the nature, seeing all these beautiful birds. It's like when I was in Dallas, I didn't see like all these beautiful red, very blue, very green birds. Yeah, I would
That's
see just
true.
those blackbirds in Dallas, and those
That's
blackbirds,
true.
that was their territory, you know what I'm saying? They're very aggressive and all this stuff. But here, just seeing so many different, types of birds and the little, I guess they call them spider monkeys, these little bitty little monkeys. A lot of people are
Okay.
seeing the iguanas. A lot of sisters, the iguanas may not be their favorite. One of my friends here said there's an iguana that kind of runs the block, like that's his territory. And every time she's walking past that park, that it's same iguana is there. Some people might not want to see that, but it is so beautiful seeing the nature. Seeing the
Mhm.
animals. There's so many dogs here, and all the dogs are calm. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why all the
I'm a
dogs are.
dog lover here, so
They're so extremely calm, and so it can just be so entertaining. Like when we go to the beach, seeing the dogs running and playing and jumping in the water, that is the most
mhm,
relaxing thing. The way we get to observe nature, the way we get to see the ocean. You can see the ocean every day and go sit at the beach every day if you want to. That does something for our mental health. I've known in the past people have said, like, if you're feeling, down, having some depression, maybe getting a dog is, a good option. For me, at this point, I don't know if I would want to have a dog right now, but observing
mhm.
all the dogs here playing, jumping in the water, and just having a great time, it does something for your mental health just to be such a part of nature. So that's definitely a pro. There's some good food here that is a
That is.
pro. There is an amazing sisterhood here. That is a pro here in Playa del Carmen. The locals here are very patient with. I am learning Spanish. Have a long way to go, and they're patient here. I know some countries you go to, they're not going to slow down for you with speaking, to see if you'll get it. So this is a great area. I feel like if you're wanting to learn Spanish and try to practice with the locals, this is a great area for that. So
Mhm,
that is a pro as well. I did a previous video about apartment searching, and I arrived here at the end of February, so that wasn't the greatest time. That was not the greatest time to be looking for an apartment because it was what we call high season here. People come to Playa del Carmen to escape the winter, in their home countries, home areas. And so that being said, high
mhm.
season is going to be the most expensive here. So when you're looking for an apartment during high season, you're going to get the most expensive prices here. Now, when I start to look at apartments on Facebook Marketplace, I'm seeing a lot uh, less expensive options. So that could be an option for me. I might decide to maybe leave this complex and maybe find something less expensive. Who knows?
Now,
Uh,
this is a part of the pros
the
that you're
I guess that's a part of the pros and cons.
pros looking at.
Well, I guess
Okay.
the pros would be that there is such a wide variety of options here with
Hmm.
apartments. If you have a lower budget that you're trying to stick to, um, if you're patient, you can find that, especially outside of high season, within high season, which I guess would be like November to April or something like that. Within high season, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find something that's reasonable. But you definitely have so many options if you're willing to take the time, and also you can negotiate stuff here. That's something that you can't do in the US. You're not going to go to an apartment complex in the US and they tell you that it's $1,500 a month and you're like, well, would you take 1,100? You're not doing that in the US, and that's something that everything's negotiable here. Um, but then on the other end, if I go to the cons, the money part is part of the cons as well, because if you are someone, they can just tell by our accent, that we're not from here. They can, even if we try to speak in Spanish, they can still tell by the fact that we're struggling that we're not from here. And that being said, you're going to pay a lot more. It's almost like a foreign tax, I guess, if you will, meaning that you might be paying double and triple the amount on taxis, because they're like, you're from the US and you can afford it. And that's something that can be very frustrating. And when you're trying to settle in a new country, you just feel you can
Hmm.
feel taken advantage of. And there are some
I
taxi
agree with
drivers,
that.
yeah, there's some taxi drivers to where if it was 50 pesos for a local, they're going to charge you 50 pesos. Since I've been here, I felt like that's been rare for me. Most taxi drivers, if they know that you're from the US, if the ride was 50 pesos, um, they're going to try to charge you 150 pesos. And that's the thing. And, some of my friends who have been here longer, they're like, no, I'm not putting up with that. I'm gonna, you know, have a discussion with this person until I can pay what the right price is. And then for me, sometimes I just feel like, do I want to ruin my day arguing with someone in the taxi, you know, about,
Right.
you know,
Here they have Bolt, which is something like Uber,
okay,
that you take around, or you, depending on how far you have to go, you can ride in the little what they call KKs,
okay,
where it's like the tricycle.
mhm,
And those are sometimes a pretty set price, but you kind of have to with Bolt, you can pay cash, and I think it'll pretty much tell you, well, it won't tell you what it is, but you'll kind of have a ballpark of what you'll be paying
okay,
with Bolt.
mhm,
So as far as transportation,
mhm,
um, but as far as like cons here, like of course, there's natural foods here. And
mhm,
I will say, like, Africa in general, especially Nigeria, because there's not a lot of Black Americans that travel here. Some have traveled here, but it's not a big place. Which, if anyone in the comments, I would really like to hear your on why you think Black Americans don't really travel here when a lot of our DNA in most cases sometimes come from here.
mhm,
But I would like to hear people in some of the viewers. answer that question as to why they don't travel here often. This is like a lot of people don't travel to Nigeria.
Mhm.
One thing compared to Mexico I can say about Nigeria is that Mexico tourism is huge. It's big. It's a big place that a lot of tourists go to, especially Americans. But you have Canadians, Europeans. It's a big place. Like their um, um, traveling and their tourism and everything is well established. When it's total opposite here in Nigeria, you don't really have huge tourism here. There are plenty sites to see, definitely plenty things. They have beaches here, but it's just not um it's not as developed as, it's pretty untapped to be honest with you, the tourism here. Secondly, like let's see, in comparison, like a pro, there's also the whole money thing. Like they can tell when you're not foreign. You know how generally most blacks, no matter where you go, whether you go to the Caribbean islands, there's a dialogue that we've developed as a people that we speak. And here is considered pidgin. And if you don't really speak it or have an accent to speak it, they can kind of tell that you're not from here if you're not speaking a local language as well. So like a tribal language or something. So they can also tell. Um, and sometimes they can kind of tell, it's hot here. So eventually, no matter how light you are, you're going to get some sun.
Mhm.
And, if you come in really, really pale face, they'll kind of know that you've been abroad, that you're not that you haven't been there for a while. Although that they are light Nigerians here. So let me be clear about that. Um, as far as the food, it's I guess now a lot of people are being introduced because Nigerians, I would say to me, are the most traveled out of Africans. I could be wrong, but everywhere you go, you tend to run into a Nigerian. So that I will say. Um, so to me, I feel like more people are getting experience with the Nigerian cuisine.
Mhm.
Um, so it's a hit. Some of it is very spicy. Some of it you'll like. Some of it you may not like, but they do have a lot of options.
Mhm.
For me, so far, uh, one of the best dishes I've had so far was called bole, and it's in this area of Port Harcourt mostly, where it's like grilled fish. Um, they give you like this spicy stew with it, with the utazi leaf, some thinly sliced red onions, and you can choose like plantains, grilled plantains, or grilled yam with it, or you can kind of mix it up and get both. But it's a really, really, really good dish. And it's usually like a street food type of thing. And it's pretty affordable too. So that's a con. Like, and sometimes I can say as a Black American, you can blend in though, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Something about it to me feels very familiar, especially if you grew up in a Black community up north. Not during the cold season, but the winter season. Um, it's just something about it that feels really familiar to me, to be honest with you. And I do like, the music here is amazing. It's great. I do like that.
Mhm.
The club scene and things like that, that's not really my thing. That's not my scene. So I haven't visited any of that type of environment.
Mhm.
Um, but
You
I
know,
do see a lot of development.
clubs. You haven't been to the clubs.
No, that's not my thing. I mean, if I was here with some girls or, maybe we would do something like that, but I'm here visiting by myself, so it's not really a
Mhm.
big um a thing to me. It's not a thing to me. But you do have to know some people, meaning like you need to be able to call on some people to, hey, can you help me? Can you do this? That I will say. And you need your plan A, plan B people too, to be honest about that. So you just have to have kind of a connect here. Like it's not really freely because the tourism isn't so developed here. It's kind of like you're visiting and you can kind of stand out as a visitor. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of know some people to know some people. But yeah, that's pretty much what. what it is here. Now with the cons, well, the money can go very far. The US dollar can go very far here. That I will tell you. And you have to be able to know how to negotiate a price as well. It's the same thing as Mexico. So I'm starting to think that that's kind of all over
Mhm.
when you travel outside of like
Mhm.
westernized countries, I guess, in some
Mhm.
cases, you can negotiate more so your prices on things. So,
Yeah, for me, and that's so like not my thing. Like that's one of
mhm,
the reasons why, as far as like in my career, I always hated like sales because if the customer is like, no, I don't want it, it's like, okay, well, thank you, man, for your time. I do not want to sit here haggling with people. And so the idea of, but you know what? I did negotiate here with some, and you were with me, some beautiful silver earrings. This guy had just so
okay,
many
yes.
of beautiful
Mhm,
silver earrings, and yeah, I was able to negotiate. But yeah, I prefer not to have to do that because it's just like, okay, not only do I have to catch a cab, I'm gonna have to get in the cab, and we're gonna have to have this whole arguing session about
mhm,
when really, if the price is 50 pesos, you should just charge me 50 pesos. It's like if you're just trying to get to dinner, that can kind of put a damper on stuff. And I've saw some people here said to where they're really arguing with the person, but one lady here said that she knew the price was supposed to be 50 pesos, and the guy told her a higher price, and she was like, this is the only I only have 50 pesos, and he was not going to let her out of that car. And she said where they were at, it was like a bunch of police officers. He's just kind of like,
wow.
I don't know what to tell you, but it's 80 pesos. And she was like, what if I only had 50 pesos? And she's like, she saw their police officers out there. She just like, you don't want start a big scene and all this stuff, and so you just feel like,
Mhm.
okay, let me just go ahead and give them the money. But that can just be frustrating because it's like we
So
work
she
hard.
had the money?
She had the money, but she was trying to like, she was like, I'm gonna be firm because I know you're not supposed to be charging me more than 50 pesos. She's like, well, I only have 50 pesos. And he's like, well, but it's
Okay.
80 pesos.
So is that a law there? You really can't charge more than 50 pesos for
No, it's just that's what the price is for locals. They can
okay.
charge whatever they want, I guess, but
Mhm.
it shouldn't, going. A lot of times these people are only taking you. The taxi driver is only taking you like 5 blocks. Why should it cost me, all this extra money because I'm, from the United States?
Amazing. Right.
That's
Um,
yeah.
I mean, that'll happen here. Definitely that'll happen here. And I think it's more of a struggle to more so vacation here,
Mhm.
unless you're spending time with family or you're a native Nigerian, to be honest with you,
Mhm.
because the tourism industry is so untapped here.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and there's no like safety net, I would say,
Mhm.
for tourists. You,
Mhm.
you get what I'm saying? Like, um, so
Mhm.
you have to kind of be careful with that. But I knew some people that knew some people, so I wasn't just going to come down here and not have a plan B or anything like that, or have the
Yes.
finances to, you know, make my living comfortable and things like that. So I will say that, like, you
That's
know,
the
um,
difference for me
mhm,
is, because I think a lot of times people may feel like, why are you in Mexico and why aren't you on the continent? Some people may feel like that. I don't think, a lot of people haven't told me that. But
yeah,
that said,
no,
for me, it's like I do understand that just going to Nigeria by yourself and you don't know anyone there, that's a huge undertaking for me. Some
I
others
agree.
might feel more comfortable, especially because, like you said, it's not like Nigeria is this big like tourism. It's like come vacation in Nigeria. You're not gonna see
Right.
vacation in Nigeria commercials. Um,
Like Jamaica commercials, right?
yeah,
Like
come
something
to
you would
Jamaica.
see.
You're not gonna be
Exactly.
like come to Nigeria commercials is not gonna be anywhere in the US. And so that being said, you feel like you know less about it. You feel like there's not going to be all of these travel agency tips on this. This is exactly where you need to go. But there's other African countries that it's so loud here. They be so sorry. I don't know if y'all hear
That's
all
okay.
my neighbors laughing and whatever. But anyways, um, that being said, there are other countries in Africa to where if you go to Egypt, you know already, even if you've never been to Egypt, you know you want to go to the pyramids, you know
Right.
what you want to visit there. So with Nigeria, you're like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to see. You don't know of any itinerary that you would put together because you haven't been exposed, to a lot of the attractions. People haven't
That's
been telling you
true.
about the attractions. So that being said,
Like
I mean,
Ghana.
that's how we travel. We travel because we saw videos, pictures, and we already know the attractions we want to go see before we've even bought our plane ticket. And so yeah, I think
Well, I would research first anywhere before I travel, to be honest with you. Like I do research. Like I guess when I traveled to Cuba, because they had been locked away for so long and it was so forbidden for us to go there, when we were able to go there, I didn't know anything about what I really wanted to see or view. I just went. And I know everyone that's not the way everyone travels, but I did my research before I left because at that time I had my daughter with me and I think she was like 10.
that's
So,
awesome. Yeah, that's so awesome that your baby got to go to Cuba at 10. But yeah, the
yeah,
research, like you were saying, that is so important.
important. Yes, you definitely have to do your research. And because like I said, other West African countries, like I think Ghana has they pretty much have some sort of catering or some sort of developments for diasporas and for tourists in general,
Mhm,
as opposed to Nigeria. And I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that there are some West African countries, like I believe Senegal has some things, tourism options as well.
mhm,
So, yeah, it was just, but I've enjoyed myself being here. Like, I think it was yesterday, I was able to negotiate pedicure. And you always want to ask the price first. Sometimes you can walk in the door. I realize you can say, hey, when you're asking, like you do pedicure for 500 naira and things like that, like you can kind of throw your price out there.
mhm,
And if they tell you no, 700, if you want to pay that, you can go with that. But you can give a ballpark of what you're looking to pay and things like that. So that negotiation thing is I think it's not just here. You said in Mexico. I don't think when I was in Mexico though, I did any negotiations. I just because one thing I could say about Mexico is it's priced pretty nice. And for what you get for your money as a tourist, like if you're staying at a hotel, they have very nice hotels.
mhm,
Restaurants are pretty affordable. So, um, but if you're staying there for a while, I can understand how you want to really manage your money and budget so that it can take you further. But
mhm.
just vacationing in Mexico can be pretty affordable because
Yeah.
plane tickets here alone will cost you at least probably, it depends on how you're willing to fly. I treated myself this time, but
Mhm.
you can definitely fly for like 900,000. It depends on how you're looking to fly. There's a
Yeah,
question there.
Deanne said, and hello, Deanne. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for watching, and also hello, Angela, and hello,
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Hawkins. And I hope I'm not saying that wrong. Um, but it is Alicia. I like that. Alicia Hawkins. Alicia. Oh,
Alicia. I do like
Alicia
that name. Is it
Hawkins.
Alicia? Is it
Alicia Hawkins. Now I get it. Um, but Bian said, you made a great choice in choosing Mexico due to the kindness and politeness of the people in general. Now, one thing I can say about here, man, they will treat you amazing. Um,
mm-hmm.
and
Mexico is
for Black women, a lot of times we have a hard time accepting someone catering to us. Um, but that's a big thing here that, you know,
I take it. I'll take it.
I know the hospitality is amazing.
It is in
The fact
Mexico, yeah.
that, you can, the beach clubs, you go to the beach club and you're there all day on the beach, but they're serving you, your drinks and your food, and you can sit there all day and just be served. But then also you can get
Mm-hmm.
a massage on the beach as well, and yeah, it's really a big thing, the hospitality, but just also you being served, and it's just like, okay, we got this.
They're very yeah, and that goes into the tourism. Like it's been there for years. So they know how to cater to you. They know how, they know what you're looking for.
Mhm.
The customer service is excellent. And I will agree with you on that. Like Mexico can make you feel like you don't want to go back to the US, honestly. It's a
Yeah.
good environment to be in.
Yeah, you feel like you ever see those movies back in the day to where you're laying out and someone's fanning you and like feeding you grapes.
Yeah.
You feel like
Have you had that? Have you had that?
I have not had that specifically.
Okay. Um, no, but it's nice. And speaking of when we were in Mexico, we had a massage. We had
They came to
you were able to locate another sister who located there. She started her masseuse business and she actually travels to you. So she came to my hotel at the time and we right before we hung out and she gave us a massage and she was just the sweetest, cutest little thing. And I think she was like 26, I
I
think.
think maybe
But she was like,
24.
I
She was
love
a
it here.
darling. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, yeah.
I think she had.
So
I think she's been here for. She may have been here a couple of years, but let me. While I'm looking, I'm like, let me. Her name is Grace. I'm like, let me shout her out here with a
yeah, I think she's on Instagram, right? Is
Her
she on
name is
Instagram?
Grace with Align Therapy, and she even does Thai massages as well. And one thing I notice about Thai massages, because Grace, she's a teeny, beautiful young lady. A lot of times with Thai massages, it works better with the people being smaller because like they can really get up under you and but we didn't
Yeah,
do a
she was
Thai
hitting the
massage.
spots.
Yeah, they can get all up in there, but yeah, we didn't do the Thai massages with her. We did I think it was deep tissue is what we did, and I really needed the deep tissue. At the moment I needed the deep tissue massage. But yeah,
Um,
that was just amazing. And there's a lot of people here to where they will come to you, and more hospitality things. There's a lot of lots of housekeepers, for very reasonable prices. So a lot
mhm.
of the ladies here will have housekeepers come and clean the apartments. And that's something that I think we would have felt like guilty about in the US. It's just almost like you just have an apartment. You can't clean that apartment by yourself. But there's sometimes when you're trying to focus on other things, you're trying to focusing on you're editing videos, you're trying to focus on writing, you're trying to focus on some other things. If that
Work, you're working.
yeah, because a lot of ladies here are digital nomads and they are still working, their corporate America job, but
Mhm.
they're just, doing it remotely. So if you have all of that going on, then why not? Especially when it's reasonable and you are contributing to the economy. You're hiring someone. So that being said, I received a reference from one of the sisters here for a housekeeper who's going to come on Wednesday to clean my apartment. And yeah, that's just going to allow me more time to just really focus on my writing and really focus on other stuff and just really focus on my mental health. So
And
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I think we also have to have like we also have to be comfortable um with our standard of living. Like it's nothing wrong with you still having a standard of living, even though you're relocating for other things. Like you could be relocating for a better environment, better food, but it's still nothing wrong with you wanting to maintain a certain type of living standard.
Mhm,
And I was really happy to find the hotel that I'm in. They're playing like live jazz.
mhm,
I was really like when I walked in, I was just like I walked in with a friend
mhm,
and I whispered under my breath because it was someone like a doorman or
mhm.
that was walking behind us that opened the door for us and I was just like, and he was like, I know you
Ah,
because because it's really, really nice. Like they have live jazz playing. They haven't been open that long, but it's a really nice like the theme and the setup is really, really nice. And I
mhm,
was just really happy and proud to find out that it's Nigerian owned, which
mhm,
is another good thing. And that's also, I guess that could be one of the pros of not having as much tourism here is that the local people can kind of own some of the things here and make the changes themselves because when tourism comes,
yeah,
depending on how you're able to negotiate, because there's a lot of businesses in Mexico that are not owned by Mexicans, you know what I'm saying?
mhm, yeah,
So sometimes that can be
mhm,
a, a con. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be a con because you have a lot of people that's their native country and they're just kind of workers there
mhm,
making a living off of the tourism. Um, and then that foreigners come in and own a lot and dominate some of the wealth there.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of like a pros and con type of thing.
yeah,
But I just like to be comfortable when I travel. And I'm not even one that always have to do the 5-star all the time, but I
mhm,
have to be comfortable in an environment, with controlled air, certain things I need to be comfortable when I
mhm.
travel somewhere and I'm staying somewhere for a long period of time. So,
Yeah, I was speaking to one of my friends who is in Mexico City now, so I'm looking to go there to spend some time pretty soon. But she
mhm,
said that it's rare that you're going to find an apartment that has air conditioning in it, and maybe the climate is set up to where maybe you don't need it, or it could also be that if you have a fan, you're fine. One thing that is very interesting about my apartment here in Mexico, it is
mhm,
hot outside right now, but a lot of time during the day, the air conditioner, I don't have to have the air conditioner on. Something about the way it's built, the breeziness and air
it
circulating
is.
here, it is
Mhm,
insane that it can be 88 degrees outside.
it's still lovely outside. I
And,
mean,
and
inside.
lovely on the inside because I tell you one thing
Mhm,
in Dallas, um, it could be because I remember there's times in Dallas to where my air conditioner had gone out in my apartment, and I would call the maintenance people like, "This is emergency maintenance," and they were like, "Well, no, it's not because it's only 73 degrees outside," and I would be smothering. Something about I don't know what
Texas
it is.
is a little, and it's odd because technically Mexico and Texas, you kind of know the history there, but it is, I think it's a specific part because when I was there, like I just washed my hair I before I got on this live, and it immediately started drying. I have the air on in here. But when I was in Mexico, my curls was
Like,
popping, my hair stayed moist. I was like, yeah, my hair was very
yes,
moisturized.
yeah,
So
Nicole was
it
out
just
here
depends.
so glowing here in Mexico with that hair. She
It
was like,
is.
"Let your soul glow." And yeah, the one thing I noticed with their weather here is that my scalp feels amazing. When I was in
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, my scalp felt very dry.
Itchy.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it would start to feel itchy because it was so dry. Here, my scalp has felt so healthy. It's felt just amazing. And with me locking my hair, the only thing I use is shampoo, and then I'll put a little bit of oil on my roots. But I felt like no matter what I was trying to do in Dallas, my scalp was just so dry. And it's like when you're trying to lock your hair, you can't be using all these greases and stuff. At least for me, that's I don't want the buildup on on my hair. So yeah, the weather here, our hair loves it, my scalp loves it, my skin loves it. So um
So what is the healthcare like? What would you say healthcare is like for those that are looking to relocate?
hair is amazing. It is
Mhm.
amazing. So when I first got here, my clumsy self tripped and twisted my ankle when I first got here.
Mhm.
I was able to have a mobile doctor. I reached out to them. It was like 11:30 at night, and that mobile doctor was like, "I'll be there in 30 minutes," and they were there at my hotel in 30 minutes. But when you do the mobile doctors, it's going to definitely be more expensive. Than the regular health care is just very inexpensive, and there's a lot. There are some things that, like certain general things that they'll just check you out for, that would be free. One of my friends, she ended up getting a stomach bug, and so she went to the doctor. They checked her out, and she said she was waiting in the lobby after the doctor saw her, and they had already given her what the prescription would be and all that. She was waiting in the lobby, and the receptionist said, "Why are you still here?" And she's just like, "Oh, I have to pay you guys." They're like, "No, it's free." So
Mhm.
her appointment, because I guess it was just kind of general, they pretty much knew what was wrong with her. It was free. So
Okay.
yeah. So that being said, there's if you do have to go to the doctor, a lot of times it's going to be quite inexpensive. I even met someone here to where they'd broken their leg or arm here. It was a
Mhm.
Canadian couple, and the husband broke his arm, and he said it was super reasonable. And also here, you just go to the pharmacy and ask for what you want. It's not a situation to where you necessarily have to have prescription. The only reason why the doctor is writing it down for you to know what you need, but you can go into the pharmacy and just ask for what you need. So, like for anyone here who's like some people might come from the U.S. and you have your anxiety medicine that you need. I don't know, blood pressure medicine, whatever you need, you wouldn't have to worry about like, oh, do I take my prescription from the US to the, no, you would just go in there and ask for what you need, and pay for what the prescription you need.
Yeah, I did see that there. A lot of um, things that we couldn't get over the counter, like you can pretty much
Mhm.
ask for
Mhm.
um, at the pharmacy there, and they have quite a few. But I've seen quite a few pharmacies here. I have not. I did go into one, and I just bought an inhaler because it felt like I started getting. I don't know if it was my allergies or what, but I started getting really stuffy, and I was
Mhm.
able to get an inhaler.
Mhm.
Um, and they gave me like some medicine. I didn't take it though because it was made in India. Not saying anything about India. I'm just saying that
I'm playing.
I just want to be clear. Like I'm not saying, because people are sensitive. So I just I was like, you know what? And when I got into a controlled environment, everything kind of cleared up a little bit for me. So it all depends, there are a lot of pharmacies around here though, and I went to a place to take a COVID test when I got here, and it was very organized. It was extremely organized. I will give them that.
Mhm.
You prepay before coming here. You prepay when you're booking your flight on a Nigerian government website. I think it was a travel portal, and you
Mhm.
prepay, and they have you. And it depends on if you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, like how quickly you have to take the COVID test between traveling. So
Mhm.
I took the COVID test. It was already prepaid, and it was very organized, very clean facility. Um, so yeah, it was that kind of worked out for me. And I have to take another one when I leave because of
Uh-huh.
course in the US it has to be a 24-hour period. But
So, so here in, when you come to Mexico, um, and I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just what it is. You don't have
mhm,
to have a COVID test to get here,
so,
or C-19
uh,
test. I don't know. We're supposed to be. We can't say certain things. Okay, so you don't have to have the C-19
oh
test
sorry.
to get
Mhm,
here. You have to have the C-19 test to get back into the US. So that being said, everyone has found it to be everyone has found it to be so easy to get here. And I think that's why people are like, why is everybody going to Mexico? Why is everybody on vacation in Mexico? Because during this
mhm.
pandemonium, um, it's been the easiest to get here to Mexico. So what about Nigeria? How hard is it to get there, like with visas and stuff? Because here it's just like visa on
You do need a visa.
arrival.
You do need a visa. When I was able to get a visa, it was good for 2 years. It was a tourism visa, and it was good for 2 years, so it's still valid because I was here back in last May and June.
Hmm.
So you do have to get a visa. You have to go through that process. And then once you get your visa, though, outside of that, it's not hard to travel here.
Hmm.
Um, you have to go through the process of the COVID testing, though. You prepay for that. And
Hmm.
when you arrive, usually in Lagos Airport, that's typically where people land. They also have other airports like in Abuja,
Hmm.
but when you land, um, you have to show them that you prepaid to schedule a COVID test on arrival, and you also have to show before getting on a plane that you've had a negative COVID test. Um, like within, I think it's within 72 hours here. I think it's
Hmm.
within 72 hours, I want to say.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I like traveling, just, checking out things. Some have, good experience, bad experiences. I
Hmm.
do like Nigeria though. Like
Hmm.
outside of all of the tourism things, there are a lot of things that I do like about Nigeria. Like this
Yeah.
is one of the um most blackest countries you can. I think it is the blackest country. I don't know, but you come to Nigeria, that's kind of a pro for me. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like, especially living in the US as a Black American, you already know. Like, I think that's the one thing about Nigeria. You just have to learn a little bit about the culture. And I think that's anywhere you travel in Africa because we've been so out of touch with a
Mhm,
lot of the things here.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, like the environment, like right outside of my window, I posted on my channel earlier. It was just a short video of a catfish farm. I don't eat catfish,
Wow.
but a lot of people do. But it's a catfish farm right outside my window,
I'm
and
gonna
I
tell
was just like,
Louisiana
yeah, it's kind of
people
cool.
catfish, okay? Like that
Yeah, that's
all you have to say, catfish. Go
yeah, catfish is a big part of African American cuisine, so especially Louisiana, a lot of other places. So, but it was a cat right outside of my window. It's a catfish farm. And I was just like, wow, these are sights like nature and things that you don't get every day when you're in the United States. And it
Mhm,
can become like a problem, being close to nature, which is so important. And you get that in Mexico as well. Like every morning, right outside my hotel in Mexico, it was a guy doing smoothies. He had fresh fruit, and I gave him a lot of business because it was just like it's a cleanser, it's a health thing. It's just like I think that's an environment that we enjoy being in.
mhm.
Warm climates, near nature. So yeah, that's my experience here in Nigeria.
So I guess that the way we can close out is, what advice that we would give to Black American women who are looking to, come to either, Mexico, specifically, the Quintana Roo area, which is comprised of Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel. What advice would I give to sisters who are wanting to come here? The advice that I would give would be beforehand to get connected to some groups. There's WhatsApp groups. There's Facebook groups that are specifically for Black expats in this area, or some groups that may just be for Black travelers in this area. So if you just go on Facebook and click like Black, in Cancun, or Black expats Cancun or whatever, you'll start joining some of those groups because that'll help you, get connected, before you even, come here. So that would definitely be my advice. And if you're wanting to come to stay to, to possibly live, or you're wanting to come to do a sabbatical, because some people will spend the entire winter here. We have a lot of people here just that spend the entire winter. I would say,
Hmm.
do a quick trip. Like say next year, you want to spend the winter here. Do a trip this year just to kind of, see and kind of get to know. And by the time you come to stay, you would know exactly what area of town you want your apartment to be. You would just have more information. You would have made some friends here who can just kind of help you out. So don't feel like you have to do it alone. Get involved in the groups, make friends here. There are lots of sisters here. Who are willing to help you out. So that would be my advice for coming here. So, Nicole, what would be your advice for anyone wanting to visit Nigeria as a Black American woman or Black woman, whatever?
Um, know people, and I don't mean like meeting people for the first time, or maybe like really get to know people, like know them. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's like if you have a Nigerian friend that's abroad and they're like, hey, my people will take care of you, my family. Um, you have to know people. And I would still suggest staying in a hotel if you're like me, where you need to be comfortable when you're staying somewhere a long period of time.
Hmm.
Um, and secondly, I would suggest do your research on your own. Like, don't just go off of what people tell you. Do your own research. Um, And always be careful, like learn about the money, learn how to negotiate, and that way you'll have an expectation of
Mhm.
what you'll be seeing. You understand? Like I would suggest that. And also, when you're traveling, when it comes to a phone, a specific type of cord, but I'll do more about that on my channel, like give detailed specifics on when you're traveling to Nigeria or likely West Africa in
Mhm.
places, what to take with you and your phone service definitely, or you can use your hotspot on your phone, or you can always have portable internet.
Mhm.
This The hotel that I'm staying in is really nice, so it does have internet, ongoing internet.
Mhm.
Um, and we don't have a lot of electricity issues here too. I'll say that because sometimes the electricity will go on and off. I don't really have that issue here.
Mhm.
And secondly, like your phone service. Like I use Google Fi, but I ended up getting a SIM card when I was here to use Airtel services. So it just varies. And when you get Airtel, if you get calls from people that you don't know, don't give out any information because that will happen too. Don't give out any information. Like they'll call and say, "Hey, um, sometimes you might get someone trying to fish." So don't give out any information, unnecessary information. If you don't know
That's the
them,
thing that gets me.
hang up.
I get so tired of people trying to, take advantage of folks. Like I can't stand it. But one thing I can say
I
about
agree.
here in in Mexico is that the outlets for
Mhm.
electricity are the same as they are in the US. I just kept my same phone service. And I guess it depends on the phone service that you have. But when I
Mhm.
told them that I was coming to Mexico, they were like, "Oh yeah, you have the same service." Like I'm able to just
Yeah,
call the people in the U.S. the same way, and they're able to call me the exact same way on the exact same number that I
that's
had
true.
in the U.S. I don't know if every telephone provider in the U.S. that's the
I
same.
think pretty much everyone does do that,
Mhm,
because I didn't have a problem using my phone when I was in Mexico.
mhm.
Um,
I think the only difference is like it seemed like if I was like trying to call a Mexican number while I'm here, I use WhatsApp because
yeah,
if I was
WhatsApp is a very good app.
yeah. So like if I'm calling my family in the US, I just call them like regular and text them like regular. But if I'm trying to
Mhm.
call a Mexican business here, I do
Mhm.
everything through WhatsApp. But yeah, I just kept my same, stuff. Yeah, so that's another good thing that it's an easy transition. But there are a lot of people who feel like, why am I gonna, especially if you're gonna be staying here, like this where you want to live for years, or this where you permanently
Mhm.
want to live. Then that being said, there are some very inexpensive phone services that will cost you, probably, 5 times less than what it would cost you in the US. So then I would look into their, cell phone services here. Um, but yeah,
Here you just buy data though, and I'm not used to. Like, how we pay a phone bill and we
mhm,
talk,
yeah,
and you don't pay your phone bill, your phone gets cut off. You pay,
mhm,
but here you buy data. When you run out of data, it's like prepaid service here in some
mhm,
cases. So,
mhm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I remember talking to a guy from Ghana, and he was saying he was needing to go get more data. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are there's a lot of things that um, people would have thought here in Mexico that it would have been so different, and it's a lot more the same than what you would have. And I guess also depends on, the state and city that you're in here. This is
Mhm.
Playa del Carmen has, some tourism here. But I think even if it didn't, I just think just the fact that we're still, very close to the US, a lot of things. And then also I was in Texas, so there's a
Well,
huge.
yeah, that makes it easier. We both are in Texas, but I do think the tourism helps
Mhm,
foreigners when they come in with the convenience of a lot of things because they
mhm,
cater to foreigners coming in.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
so yeah, I do think that's a big thing, like the standards of the hotels, all of these things, like that's pretty much like a big majority of the country's income.
mhm,
So I think they have to really cater to the tourism there.
mhm,
Um, and that's a big economic
mhm.
uh like variable
Yeah.
of many countries is the tourism because it does increase, like it brings dollars, or not necessarily dollars, but it brings money,
Mhm,
cash flow
mhm,
into your country
mhm,
in multiple ways.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a big thing. But Mexico is beautiful. It's a good choice. um I don't know,
Yeah.
I might come back and visit in May because I mean it's fun. Like, there are other countries that I'm looking to explore.
Mhm.
Hopefully next year. I think um Colombia, who
For sure.
knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see, Angela Rochelle, she was talking about the, pharmacy, policy here, making a lot of sense. She said she spent over a week
Mhm.
trying to coordinate between a pharmacy and a nursing home and a doctor's office, for renewal of prescriptions for a loved one. I'm guessing, that was maybe what happened in the US maybe, but yeah, I mean, yeah, some of the things that we dealt with in the U.S. it can be so frustrating, especially the healthcare stuff, and it's unfortunate
Oh
because
yeah.
here I was just so shocked that the doctor was like, "We'll be there in 30 minutes," and that was pretty much in the middle of the night, because my
Well,
ankle.
healthcare is a ripoff in the United States. It just
Yeah,
is. That's the truth.
yeah. And a lot of times you end up having to wait, meaning that if it's something that is truly an emergency for you or whatever, I've had times in the US to where they're like, okay, well, we can get you in. Like you'll say, today is what, April 3rd. They'll be like, we can get you in on April 21st. I'm like, I'm gonna be better by April 21st.
Exactly. I mean, and not even that, like little simple, like I've had a situation where I was just simply coming to have paperwork filled out
Mhm,
and they tried to specifically charge me for a doctor's appointment. It's like, this is not an appointment. This is documentation that needs to be filled out by my doctor. You
mhm,
understand? So to me, I
mhm,
feel like the US, I think many Black Americans, especially Black women, know that the US is very overrated in a lot of things.
mhm,
It's just all about money, 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 money.
mhm.
And the healthcare industry, I don't know, I've become disappointed with it, to be honest with you. So, and a lot of our health issues um are, come from stress, a lot of other things that we go through in the States.
Mhm.
So, I think once you get yourself in an environment and clear your head and get some things, settled for yourself, that in itself kind of takes care of your health issue. You
Yeah, I
understand?
think
So,
if I had been in the US and I would have twisted my ankle, I probably wouldn't have went to the doctor
you would
because
have paid a lot of money.
it's like you're gonna pay a lot of money, but also you call and they may not get you in for a couple of weeks. You're like, okay, by then I'll be better, So
Hmm.
I probably wouldn't have called the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela was saying that situation where she had to coordinate with a pharmacy, nursing home, doctor's office. And it's like you're going back and forth and nobody's helping you out. She said that was in the US. But yeah, I agree, Angela. US does not do healthcare well. and I don't think they want to do healthcare well because it's more profitable not to, and it's just very, very unfortunate.
It
But yeah, a
is.
lot of times in the U.S., I would just decide not to go to the doctor, and you would try home remedies. That's why everybody always clown about
Mhm.
um, like black folks just give their family ginger ale, like that's supposed to
Oh, that's our medicine, ginger ale. And they
everything.
use a lot of native medicines here, I think. I think they use a lot of herbs and things here too to fix some things. I definitely feel like they do that
Yeah.
here. I'm not sure how well that works, but I know temporarily, like the US basically puts a band-aid over your issue and
Hmm.
doesn't get to the root of what's going on.
Hmm. So
Um,
you can have to
some
keep going
cases,
back. So you can have to
yeah,
just.
you have to keep coming back because it's gonna connect to the pharmaceutical companies,
Hmm.
corporations, like it's all linked. It's all
Hmm.
linked.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
um,
which is
but
unfortunate
yeah,
because in here in Mexico, it's like we're just so like baffled. Like for instance, my friend who had that stomach bug, when they're telling her like it's free, like why are you still here? She was like just baffled.
hey,
Um, you know, yeah, Angela, yeah, ginger ale, that is my favorite. you know, I love
and
ginger
where I'm from, we have Vernors, which is still a form of ginger ale.
ale.
And anybody who knows Vernors, they'll know where I'm
But
from
I
initially.
saw burners at Kroger in Dallas. You were saying that
Yeah, they have it, but
but
it
it's
originates
a
somewhere
small.
else.
Verner's got that. They might have two cases of Verner's in Dallas, but you can find it. But it's
Yeah,
not.
you can.
Yeah, I
You
found it. Ginger
can.
ale. I love ginger ale. Oh my goodness! And you
Hmm.
know what? Honestly, I don't know if I saw any ginger ale here. I'm gonna have to look. But I love ginger ale. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, here it's like the waters, like the fruit infused waters. And I think you were talking about like jicama, like they would do. I think that's what you call it, fruit. Or yeah, they would just do all types of fruit infused waters here. So that's what I've been doing a lot of here. Like some mint. Even like I think we had like a mint and cucumber or a cucumber and lemon water. They just do so much, like pineapple water, and it just tastes so refreshing. So yeah, there's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff here to where you're not necessarily just drinking soda, soda, soda. They'll have so many other options.
Oh,
Lots.
well, that's the same here too.
Yeah.
It's the same here too. It's a drink they have called Zobo, and it's a local drink, but to me, it's very underrated. Because I could drink like probably a gallon of it a day, and what it is, and you have it in Jamaica, you have it in Mexico. It's just a different name, but it's made with the hibiscus flower, and
Oh.
they put like I think they put I don't know, like spices in it. I've
Mhm.
heard people cut up the pineapple and put that in there,
Mhm.
mix it with like pineapple juice. But they call it Zobo here. And
Okay.
it's a local drink and it's really good. And it's especially when it's cold,
Mhm.
it's really, 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 really good.
What I
So
want to try that I would see on YouTube
mhm.
I saw it in the Gambia. Um, cashew wine.
Oh yeah, yes, yes, yes. That natural cashew wine. That would be interesting. Like the
Mhm.
taste of it. I wonder if it makes a white or a red wine. I
I
know.
would guess it would make a white because it's made from that cashew fruit, and that cashew fruit
Hmm.
almost looks like an apple.
Okay.
So I would guess
Mhm.
that it would
No
be a
white
white.
wine.
And I love white wine, but I'm like and I love the taste of cashews.
Hmm.
I wonder if they actually put the nut to make the wine it too, or if they just use that cashew fruit. But wow, I'm just like cashew wine. I was trying to look in the U.S. to see if I can find cashew wine after I heard about it, and I don't think I could find it. in the US. But
That's funny because when you're, I'm sure that would be a really good wine, but because they make the milk, like I've had something here, tiger nut milk or like a tiger nut drink, and
mhm,
it was smooth on my stomach, being that I'm lactose
mhm.
intolerant. So,
So is that
um,
the name of the fruit, tiger nut? What is it?
it's a nut, a tiger nut,
Okay, I don't even
and
know
they make like a milk out of it, like a milk drink or
mhm.
something out of it.
Yeah.
So, and it's natural. It's all natural too. So,
Mhm,
um, I mean, that's the benefits to me of leaving the US, traveling abroad, is being able to learn different things about different foods, different everything.
mhm.
I am going to definitely get me some sour sop. I can't take anything back to the States though. I can't take any
Don't get caught up in
dry.
customs for some soursop.
Right. I'm gonna be up in
Don't do it.
customs like
They're like,
mm,
"Why'd you get arrested over some soursop?" Like, "Girl."
right. Right. So I can't take any of that back, but I'm definitely going to enjoy some before I leave, some natural fruits and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope, if anyone has any questions after we end the video, just we'll be happy to respond to them
Mhm.
on our experiences. But there you heard two different experiences on the continent of Africa and in
In
Mexico.
Mexico. So,
Hmm.
I will be doing more things like this to where I will be interviewing other sisters who are, living abroad. I'll be interviewing, sisters who are living out their dreams because, my passion is about living a free life and not feeling restricted. And so, yeah, you guys subscribe, like this video, and just yeah, comment. Let me know, what type of things that you want to see. So Nicole Black's channel is Global Sisters Connection. That's Sista apostrophe S. Is it?
I don't think it's, yeah, it is apostrophe S. It is. It's in there. I think I said hello everyone to the chat, so it's in there.
Okay, so yeah, if you go into the
Hmm.
comments, you'll see that's her channel. Yeah, Global Sisters Connection is her channel. So yes, definitely go and subscribe to her channel. And everyone, I appreciate y'all all so much. Alicia Hawkins, Beanne, Angela, Rochelle, and even everyone who didn't comment, everyone just who's on here watching. I appreciate
Hmm.
you guys so much. You guys have been so supportive. You guys have shown that you're enjoying the content and that you're relating. And I'm happy if I'm able to inspire anyone. Let's get me up. My next big goal is going to be to get to 1,000 subscribers. So
Subscribing.
yeah, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I think I need to do a little party to where we have our little drinks and we just do a live and we just talk about all kinds of stuff. So yeah, let's get me to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. We just gonna keep having our little goals, but I think that is all. Nicole, anything extra you want to say before we let these wonderful
Um,
people get back to their day?
yeah, I know we've had them on here for like just a little over an hour, but I hope they enjoyed the conversation. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, please join my channel. I want to have some good conversations too about other Black women globally, talking a lot about a lot of things concerning, our health. That includes physical health, mental health, and the whole sisterhood altogether, making those connections abroad, which are really important. Um, like I said, sometimes you'll vibe with people, sometimes you won't, but sometimes you can walk away with a really good friend. Um, and yeah, well, I thank you for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate the conversation. Thank you to Sonja Unapologetic. Keep doing what you're doing in Mexico. And I'll probably stop by and see you
I know you're gonna be
in
back.
May. Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back, and we do some more videos and hang out.
Mhm.
And I just want to, tell a lot of Black women, get a passport and travel. No matter where you decide to go, just get a passport and travel. That is a one thing, that advantage that you do have as a Black American woman, is traveling with that blue passport, because it does give you a lot of benefits, and take advantage of those benefits and travel with your children. Expose your young girls, young daughters and stuff to traveling.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's my take on it. I want all the sisters to have a wonderful week, and be blessed, and don't stress, and just stay beautiful.
Okay. Well, I thank you all. We'll go ahead and let y'all get back to y'all day. Until next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.